Tell us about a non-science hobby or something you do that's fun that isn't about ants or microbiomes or the rest of the stuff we'll cover today.
Sure. So I'm obsessed with my dogs. I have two
Ah,
French bulldogs, and they are the best. It's Porkchop and Peanut, and they're
nice.
actually from the same litter. And today's their 3-year birthday.
Oh, happy
Woo! You
birthday.
having a party for him?
No, probably not. They don't know the difference.
Well, how do you give them those names? Is there any significance, the story behind that?
I just like quirky names for dogs. My first dog was named Miss Tuesday.
Miss
Um,
Tuesday. Okay.
yeah. Now we have Porkchop
That's
and
funny.
Peanut.
Nice, nice.
So I don't know the personalities of French bulldogs. What are they like?
Oh my gosh, they are just all about like big personality, always in your face. They're not like the sleep quietly on the side. They're like in your grill, goofing off. Everything they do is ridiculously funny somehow. You know, our furnace broke. And so we had to get a bunch of space heaters. And as soon as we turn the space heaters, one of our dogs just literally just sits against it the entire time. I'm like, you can feel her just like burning. I'm like, can you just move? Like, no.
Love it.
That's funny. There's 2 that live down the street from me, and yet they have huge personalities. They are such goofballs. They walk up and down the street rolling in puddles, making their owner so mad. She stopped walking them now, so I think they just stay in the yard. She's always walking around by herself. She used to have the dogs, but not
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly.
One other. Tell us who's your favorite artist, favorite musician, favorite sports team.
Oh
One
my
one of those.
goodness, that's
Uh,
a lot of
you don't have
big
to answer them
questions.
all, but
Um, my favorite artist, gosh, I don't know. I'd have to think about. I love like really odd modern art. Like is like bold as the colors can get and simple. I love that kind of art. So I don't know if I have a favorite. My favorite musician. Oh goodness, if you would have asked me um, like 10 years ago, maybe even less, I would have said Jawbreaker. I was like a huge punk rocker, and so that was my favorite band of all time. I probably still know every word to every song. But now I don't know. I listen to a much more eclectic set of music. I like jazz a lot. I like pop. I like all kinds of things actually. And then the sports teams. I don't really follow sports at all, except that I'm from New Orleans and like growing up, we had almost no sports teams, right? And then of course the Saints were so bad that people used to wear brown bags
The
over their
bags,
heads. Yeah.
yeah,
And
uh-huh.
so like, of course for me, like anytime they win, it's like, even though they've been kind of good for a while, to me, I always still feel like they finally did it.
nice. Let me ask you one other oddball question. So I know through an obscure connection that you speak French. Uh, how
Oh
do
my
you
God, I
speak
actually
French? Oh,
don't.
you don't?
I
Oh,
don't. I'm
yeah.
terrible.
Oh,
I speak un petit peu. So my partner, he is French, and so I actually really worked hard to try to learn French. And then every time we go to France, his family, like and all his friends, are so excited to finally get to practice their English,
oh,
but I
you never get a
never
chance.
speak
Oh
French. I
no.
never get a chance. Although, it has turned out in very funny ways because I've published papers a few times with like all French
yeah,
authors' last names
yeah.
just by chance. And there's been a couple of times where we've gotten the like, you should really have a native English speaker read this manuscript. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. And you're like, fuck you.
I just laugh. The first time it happened, my co-author just literally sent me an email that was just like, ha 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 ha, ha, like lines of it.
I speak reasonable French, but it's like, declining because I'm middle aged. I was like pretty good when I was in my 20s, but I remember showing up. So first time I went to France, I was 20 years old. It was like a junior year abroad kind of thing. And I remember getting off the plane in Paris and thinking, what language are these people speaking? Like I couldn't understand a word.
It's true. It's really true.